What's up, strangers? It's your boy Gizmo, and I'm back finally. It has been way too long, and I know y'all have missed me because I've missed y'all, and I have a lot to talk about today, and I've got to squeeze it in 10 minutes. And okay, I guess where I can start is, where have I been at? I have been nowhere. No, like, alright, I took a little break, and I'm taking a little break from uploading the campaign because it's taken a while each upload. If y'all have been watching my campaign, and y'all would like me to upload it, I will. But I'm just gonna take a little break from it. I've done about the first half of it, and I'm just gonna take a break and do the second half whenever I feel. But what I really wanted to start a new series today, in addition to updating y'all on where I've been. But I want to start a new series called Movie Review Monday, and it is basically just like what it sounds. I'm going to review a movie that I went and saw on every Monday, because me and my dad go see a movie every Monday, and so I'm really excited to bring y'all this because I love talking about movies, and I know I'll love just as much talking about movies with y'all. So I'm going to jump right into this. So it's going to be a double doozy today, two movies for y'all today. It's usually just going to be one, and I'm going to lengthen it to about as long as we're taking here with the 10 minutes or whatever, but I'm going to cram two of them in today because I didn't get to do the last one that I went to see, and I really wanted to. So the first one I saw last Monday, and it's called Ender's Game. And this movie, I don't know if it would be interesting to y'all or not, but to me, I was interested in seeing it. My first impressions going in, by the way guys, this is gonna be structured the same way every review that I do, but I'm not gonna go through the structure the first time I do it. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, and y'all will pick up on the structure. But the first thing I'm gonna talk about is my impressions going into the movie. So Ender's Game. I read Ender's Game in high school. I read the book, and I was by read I mean like I half read it. I never fully read a book in high school that they asked us to read, but I half read it, and it was unique when I read it. It was okay. I hate reading as it is, so it wasn't that enjoyable for me anyway. But it was okay. It was very I'm not even gonna lightly put it. It was very confusing when I read it, and it is a pretty confusing movie. Now my first impressions of the movie, seeing it, my first impressions were, hey. Well, actually, I didn't get done with my impressions going in. My impressions going in was that it's gonna be probably a good movie, because it was a very confusing book, but I figured that the whole sci-fi and everything about it was gonna be a good movie. Now, here's my first impressions. When I start watching the movie, my first impression, the first thing that hops into my mind is that, okay, it's playing out just like the book. So now let me get into my overall impression. I know that was a really stupid first impression point, but I'm gonna get into my overall impression because I want to speed this up a little bit. Now, in my overall impressions, the way it's gonna work out is that I'm gonna give them grades, and the first thing I'm gonna give a grade on is the plot and story. Okay, so the plot and story, I'm gonna grade that a C, and the reason being because it was for somebody who hasn't seen it. I'm trying to take a neutral position here because I've read the book, so I knew what to expect going in. But from a neutral standpoint, the plot and story is confusing as fuck. Like, the plot and story, it takes a while for people to really fully grasp what's going on, and it kind of throws you in the middle, not really explaining anything. Not really the phalanx and all that kind of stuff, not really explaining what's going on, and I would explain more about the movie, but it has been a week old, and it's kind of off my mind because I just saw another movie, so in the future I will explain the movie a little bit. But the plot and story was very confusing. It rolled okay, not as good as some other movies. It rolled along alright. It was, Did it keep me like engaged in it? Yes, sort of, but that's only because I read the book. If I hadn't have read the book, I probably wouldn't have been engaged in the story. But the second thing I want to give it a grade on is the characters and the actors. I give that a B minus. Well, probably a B, just because like they were pretty good. The acting was pretty good and pretty well done, but the actors were kind of cliche, so to say. You know how you see a movie and you're kind of like, well, these actors are kind of boring and cliche. Like you expect them to act a certain way, and they do. I don't like that when I see, and that's the only bad part about the actors. But overall, like that might have had a lot to do with the story anyway. But so overall, I think were the characters and actors right for the movie, or were the actors the right actors for the characters in the movie? Yes, I think they were. I think that the actors played very well in the movie. And alright, the third thing I'm going to grade it on is something you've probably never heard in a movie review, but I'm going to introduce it. It's called sticking to the genre. The genre would be action, sci-fi, adventure type stuff. As far as action goes, the action is okay. I mean, as a suspenseful kind of engaging action aspect of it, no, not really. Not as much as I was expecting. So sticking to the genre in terms of action, I'll have to give it a C+, because there was a little bit of action, but sticking to the genre of sci-fi, I will give sci-fi an A+, because it was for you sci-fi lovers, it's not going to be your Star Trek, Star Wars type shit, but it's very, very sci-fi oriented, and it's almost so sci-fi oriented that it tunes people that aren't that interested in sci-fi out. But I don't like sci-fi that much. I don't really like Star Wars, and I don't really like Star Trek, things like that, but I read the book, so I was tuned in more than the average person would be. And so now to get to my final thoughts and my final grade and all that kind of stuff, overall it was pretty dumb. There were odd exaggerations. They were trying to exaggerate certain scenes in the movies and make it sound exciting and enjoyable, and really there was a little over-exaggeration, a little over-emotional exaggeration at times. So when I see a movie do that, I kind of look at it as dumb and stupid and almost not borderline pointless, but when I see things like that, it kind of tunes me out a little bit. So I'll have to give the overall grade, and well, actually, let me say that it tried hard to make what becomes a video game, because you'll see when you read about the movie and everything, what becomes a video game, it tries so hard to make it interesting and realistic, and for those people who haven't seen or read the book before, it probably wasn't that interesting to them. So the final grade is going to be a C, and I've pretty much said why, so I'm going to jump right into the second movie, and I'm sorry I'm moving really fast because I'm running out of time here, but the second movie was something I saw a few hours ago. It's called Gravity, and Sandra Bullock and George Clooney are the main characters in it. George Clooney doesn't last very long, but my impressions going in is that this movie looks like it could be good, it could be bad, it could be corny, because Sandra Bullock movies I've seen with my mom, the love stories. I don't know if you know who Sandra Bullock really is, but she does a lot of romance stuff, and a lot of that kind of seemed a little corny to me when I watched her movies. So I had mixed impressions going in, and I'll jump right into my overall impressions. The plot and story, I'll have to give the plot a C+, simply because, I mean, they did what they wanted to do. Like it was almost unexpected plot, but it was also kind of uneventful in my mind. I mean, I know that sounds weird if you've read the previews about this and seen the trailer for it. You'd think it was really enjoyable and really eventful, but it wasn't that eventful for me. But the characters and actors, I have to give the characters and actors an A-, because those are a couple of the best actors and actresses out there. So they played very well in this movie. Sandra Bullock's a great actress. I got to give her that. She's a great actress, and they did very well. Did it stick to its genre? I didn't write the genre down. I think the genre, I'm saying it would be sci-fi, action, adventure, sort of like what we talked about in Ender's Game. And in terms of action, I have to give it a B-. It was more action packed in my mind than Ender's Game, but at the same time it was kind of lame. Sci-fi, I'd have to give it an A-, especially if you like space kind of stuff. And my final thoughts and grades on Gravity, my final thoughts are that it was good, and it was really fun to watch in 3D, but it wasn't as eventful and wasn't as, like action packed as I thought it would be in space. It was kind of one story that was half interesting, like it wasn't fully interesting. So overall, I'll have to give it a B- or a B. Would I recommend? Okay, would I recommend Ender's Game? No, if you haven't read the book. Would I recommend Gravity? Yes, if you like space stuff. If you like space movies, space things, sci-fi, I really would recommend that for those for you space lovers. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up today. I'm sorry this was very discombobulated and very quick. I'm gonna start this new series, but my next review every Monday, movie review Monday, every Monday, they're gonna be better than this. They're gonna be more. I'm gonna explain them more and have more time to explain them. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on where I've been and give you a couple of movie reviews to sit on. And I'm probably gonna put out another commentary today. But it's been your boy Gizmo, and I thank you for tuning in. And I hope I was able to give you some great insight in these two films. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, favorite, and sub if you haven't already. And it's your boy Gizmo, and